My guest tonight is, of course, a very talented comedian whose new show, The Cabin with Bert Kreischer, is streaming now on Netflix. You can also see him live on his Hot Summer Nights tour, which will be making a stop at the Rose Bowl on Wednesday, October 28th. And this man gives a good show. Please welcome Bert Kreischer. Bert, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. I named it the Hot Summer Nights tour, and the last show I did was in Chicago in 28-degree weather with snow flurries, shirtless.
That's right. You obviously like to show off your body, as one should, if they're in your shape. And could you see steam rising off your body in the 28-degree weather?
Oh no, I had I think it was 6 or 9 heaters on stage with me, like tubes blowing hot air, space heaters, like I was out eating at an outdoors Applebee's. It was aggressive. I looked like such a wimp. It was horrible, but it was nice. I kept thinking, Wim Hof, you don't get sick. Wim Hof does it. So I just embraced my breathing.
Yeah, that's what you have to do. I think we're all doing the best we can during trying times. You may have heard, we came into the theater we're in. I know you've performed in this theater, Largo, a million times. We showed up yesterday. Our equipment got ripped off. We're living in a post-apocalyptic nightmare, all of us, but we're doing the best we can.
Who breaks into Largo? The sweetest human beings in the world work there, own that place, attend that venue. That's like ripping off a nun.
No. And also, there was a nun staying here. They beat her with a club. She tried to stop.
If you went to Catholic grade school, that might be. I can understand.
Trust me, I had my Catholic education, and that. Let's just say it's even the score. That's all I'll say. I want to talk about these shows you're doing. You're doing these drive-in shows. What's it like? I mean, you were out there in the middle of a pandemic, but you have found a way to bring the Kreischer magic to the people, and I applaud you for that. How's it going? Does it feel pretty COVID safe?
Oh, it's very COVID safe. We've done now 4 tours across this country.
Wow.
And the first one we didn't know if it was going to work, which is the dumbest insight now, because my fans love the tailgate. Like, my fans love the tailgate. I mean, people show up, they have smokers, they have filled the bed of their trucks with water, they have couch setups, they have inflatable mattresses. It's almost like when I was like, I wonder if they'll show up. That's like Jimmy Buffett going, I hope my fans like margaritas. Like, they are through the roof. And the shows are amazing. I love them. I'm having so much fun. And it's offering people, and this is what I like, is offering people a chance of normalcy and to stay as safe as they want. They can get out of the car and be around their car if they want. They can stay in their car. They don't have to get out of their car. And I'm one of those people. Like, I would probably tailgate a little bit. And the drunker I got, the more adventurous I got. But it's been absolutely amazing. I wish more comics had the opportunity to do it. I think a lot of people heard that, they'd be honking and stuff. They only honk at the end of the show for a standing ovation. Conan, it is the most amazing standing ovation you've ever got. They flick their high beams, hit their horns. You feel like you're getting abducted by aliens. It is the greatest.
I would like it if I did that and I told a joke that was so good that everyone's airbag went off. That would make me happy. People's heads were blown back, like their noses were broken by the impact of my comedy. That's what I want. This sounds like a lot of fun. I also want to bring up, you have an interesting birthday. Your birthday is November 3rd. Now, this year, November 3rd is going to be a fraught day for a lot of people. Regardless of your political orientation, it's going to be a tense day filled with maybe anger, anxiety, and it's your birthday. You know, yeah. What are you going to do this November 3rd? Are you still going to try and have a conventional birthday?
No, there's no way anyone's going to be at my party not looking at the TV going, see, this is what's wrong with our country. And I'm like, hey, happy birthday. No, that's not going to happen. I'm thinking about getting a cabin in the woods and taking my girls out there so that when LA's done burning, we can come in and claim our dogs.
You know, LA can burn and it doesn't have to be political. It could just be someone dropped a cigarette like 60 miles from here, you know? So, don't worry. I mean, but I have sympathy for you that your birthday is on November 3rd. I'm curious, do you have a memory of a birthday in your life that was a life changer, like a day that just stands out to you as that was the birthday that was really important to me?
Yeah. It's not a good one, but yeah. My 26th birthday. I had just moved to New York. I was saying I was getting into stand-up. I really wasn't doing anything. I was just partying. And November 2nd, we got really lit because you party up till midnight on your birthday. That's how I used to do it.
You say one does that. I don't do that, but that's what you do. Okay. All right.
Yeah. And so I woke up really hungover to my phone ringing, and it was my dad. And I was on the couch. I didn't even make it to my loft bed in New York. I'm on the couch and I go, you know what? I'm just going to answer the phone and let him say happy birthday to me real quick. And then I'm going to go back to bed. I'm hungover. So I just grabbed the phone like, hey, what's up? And he just goes, you are a human piece of garbage. And I go, what? He goes, I just perjured myself. I was in court and the judge said, hey, Al, how's your son doing? And I said, great. I lied because I couldn't say, Your Honor, my son is no humility. He's a garbage. He says he's going to do something and he doesn't do it. And I go, Dad, it's my birthday. And he goes, I know what day it is. And
he called you human garbage on your birthday.
And he broke me down so bad. You have no humility. I messed you up. You're just going to be a party boy. You're the number one party animal. Keep partying, party boy. I'll pay for it. You don't have to do anything. You'll never achieve anything in life. You say you want to be a comic. You won't be a comic. And then I was like, hey, how do I fix this? He goes, you can't fix it. You can't. You don't have the capability. I messed up as a man, as a father. I messed you up. So just don't worry about it. Go party your balls off tonight. I was like, hold on. I said, I need to fix this. And he goes, if you want to fix this, you go to that comedy club that you've been hanging out at and drinking beers, and you tell them you'll do anything. You'll mop up. I go, Dad, that's not how it works. He goes, no, that's not how it works for you because you've been given everything in your life. But he goes, let me tell you something. Some young black kid in Harlem is doing that today, and he will succeed because he has what it takes to get to the next level. You don't have it. And I go, okay, I'll do it. So I go that night at the club. I remember telling my dad, I can't do tonight. I have a party. And he goes, you don't deserve a party. What are you partying for? And so I went. I didn't go out that night. I went to the comedy club. I talked to the guy, Louis Schaefer. I said, hey, I want to be a comic. I'll do anything. And he told me to move back to Florida. And I was like, okay, that's not an option, whatever. So I go back. I call my dad the next morning. He said, how did it go? I said, he told me to move back to Florida. He goes, perfect. He goes, you go to that club again tonight. Pretend you never had that conversation and start from zero. Say, hey, my name's Bert Kreischer. I'd like to be a comedian. And when he shoots you down again, you show up the next night. You show up persistent and humble. And that is how you lead your life. And I went, okay. It sounded crazy to me. And I did it the next night. And Louis Schaefer goes, I thought I told you to move back to Florida. And I said, listen, yesterday was my birthday. My dad called me a human piece of garbage, told me I wasn't worth anything. I'm going to be doing this until my dad says I have to stop. So I'm going to be here every single night. And he goes, listen, if you want to work the door, you can work the door. If you bring in 25 people, I'll put you on at the end of the night. And I was like, for real? And he was like, yeah. I called my dad. I was so excited. I go, it worked. He goes, of course it worked. He goes, you approach stuff with humility. And I'm telling you, Conan, 6 months later, Will Smith discovered me. I started doing television. And if it wasn't for that 26th birthday break off my dad gave me, it hurt so bad. Yep. I wouldn't be talking to you right now.
You know, I feel like I've done a pretty good job in my career. My dad calls me every birthday and says, you're a human piece of garbage. And then I'm like, what? And he goes like, wait, oh, I'm sorry. And he's like, I thought I was talking to one of your brothers. I apologize. Hey, how's your, you've talked on my show about your daughter, Georgia, before. What is she? Is she 15, 16 now? How old is she?
Just turned 16, Conan. Just turned 16.
Okay, and how's that going? Because she sounds like a character. She sounds you have some good you have some good stories about her.
She got into an accident yesterday.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
Little Cannon and Chandler, good old Georgia.
Listen, no, she's driving.
Yeah, I knew she. I love her. I love my kids. I trash them a lot, but this moron was not ready to drive. Literally, we're driving through a neighborhood one time, and her and Isla's in the back. Isla sees a sign that says "deaf child," and Georgia goes, and Isla goes, "Well, that's racist." I was like, "Huh?
How's that racist?"
Why would it's not racist at all. That's what's wrong with these kids. It's not. I go, Isla. They put that sign, and Georgia goes, "Dad, I'll take this one." She goes, Isla, they put that sign up so that we know when we're in this neighborhood, we should lower our radios so we don't rub it in that we can hear. Like, that's actually not at all why they put that sign up there, Georgia. She goes, well, why would they put it up then? I go, so you know there's a child that may not hear your car coming, so you need to pay extra attention. And she goes, well, it sounds like they're making me do all the work.
I can't believe she's out driving. It frightens me, and I'm going to look 3 ways before I cross any street now if I know she's in town. Well, let's talk about you. This is a cool idea. The Cabin with Bert Kreischer. I was watching this show, and it's a very good idea because the top of the show, you're very honest. It explains very quickly that you live hard, you party hard, you work hard, you like your food, you like your drink, you push it and you push it and you push it, and you finally decided, I'm going to take a break and I'm going to go into a cabin and I'm going to try and relax. Yeah. And that's the premise of the show. But initially, you were just going to go to a cabin and relax, and you turned it into a television show.
I do that with everything. I did that with this tour. I was like, hey, I'm doing a tour in the pandemic. I'm bringing the camera crew. Netflix, you want it? And they're like, huh? Like, I can't help it. I think of everything as like wasting time if I'm not making something. And I like making stuff. And so the first person I called was to Segura. And I was like, hey, you want to come up and maybe we'll shoot something? He was like, yeah. And so he came up and he called Joey, and then they got an ounce of weed. And the next thing you know, we're like, let's call Miss Pat. And then Joe McHale, and then Dion, and Anthony Anderson, and Donna Rollins, Bobby Lee. The list of people that I brought up there to hang out with me are the funniest human beings on the planet, in my opinion. And That's why people are liking the show, is that you are just letting hilarious people be hilarious, no boundaries, no nothing. And Netflix their guidance was beautiful, and we're like, it was perfect. It was a lot of fun.
Well, I'm good friends with Dion Cole, and I've known him for a long time, and he's such a hilarious guy. And I just am thinking, I love just the concept of Dion out in the woods in a cabin, because that doesn't seem like Dion's thing. Did he have a good time?
It is not Dion's thing. Dion, like the first thing we did that day was, because I've always wanted to. Everything I did out there is stuff I want to do. Like I'm always looking for a quick fix, right? Like we got chickens in our house, and I was like, I want a beehive. I think a beehive would be cool. So we went to see if we could collect honey from a beehive, and Dion's like, I don't like bees. And I was like, you grew up in Chicago. Like, how can a bee scare you? And he's like, I don't like bees. And then he's like, we're getting roughed. He goes, I don't like getting roughed. The only thing he really took to was spitting on me. Like I got stung by a bee, and we were smoking cigars, and they were like, you need tobacco spit. And before I could get it out of my mouth, he's spitting on me. And I'm like, hey, Dion, I think you got it. And he could not stop spitting on me. I was like,
no, this was to help the bee sting. He had tobacco and he was spitting it on you.
Yeah, but it was the way he was doing it was so just like, I mean, he had so much fun spitting on me. He's like, I've never gotten a spit on a white guy before. This is great. I was like, if I ever get in trouble with Black Twitter, I'm using that clip and going, hey guys, we're even.
Yeah. No, it feels right. It feels like this is good. This is a good catharsis for, this is very good. I'm glad that Dion got to spit on you. You regularly ask questions on your podcast. Is that something do you have any questions that you might want to ask me?
Yes, I do this all the time. I do it with Bill Burr. I have 2 podcasts, Two Bears, One Cave with Tom Segura, and then Bill Burt with Bill Burr. And Burr is always good to ask questions like, what would you rather? Hit a hole-in-one or hit a walk-off home run?
Oh, walk-off home run.
Walk-off home run, right?
Yes, that's obvious to me. Hole-in-one would just feel like just pure chance. Walk-off home run feels more like skill. And I would love just dropping the bat and being a total douche about it. Do you know what I mean? I would love just dropping the bat and really taking my time going around the bases, and to the point where the pitcher would maybe charge me, come at me. I would totally play it up. I would love a walk-off home run.
All right. What about dunk or speak French?
Man, that's a good one. I'm going to go with speak French. Or can I have speak French as I dunk, but only as I'm dunking, I can speak French?
Oh,
meaning only in that moment when I'm dunking, I'm fluent in French. So when I go up and I dunk, I just start talking about Descartes and Moliere, and everyone around me under the basket's just like, what is this? This is incredible. And then when I come back down again, I've dunked the basketball, I no longer speak French.
Okay, here's my favorite one, and it's going to take a little thought. Okay, so I'll answer first, but I'll put it out to you. This is me and Bill's favorite one. You get to drive a brand new car. You can time travel to any time period and drive the car of your dreams right when it was released. And what music would you listen to driving that car around? Now, I would go to like 68, 69, and I would get a Cadillac convertible, a big, long one. And I would listen to the Rolling Stones.
Okay, I would time travel to 1923, but I'd be driving a car from 1925. Okay, so it's just a 2-year difference. It's just a model, and it's slightly different. And I would be playing a song that wasn't. It's like a Rudy Valley song that hasn't come out yet, but it's only 2 years off. So I've gone to all the trouble to time travel and have the machine I want, but instead of going back to 1620 and being worshipped as a god for having this machine, I'm showing up and people are like, say, that looks like a 1920 Model T. And I'll say, no, it's not, chum. It's a 1922 Model T. And then they'll say, is that Rudy Valley singing? And I'd say, yes, but this won't be released for 4 months. Button up your overcoat when the wind blows free. Take good care of yourself. You belong to me. I don't know. I love wasting people's time. And that would be a huge waste. A huge waste of time travel. A huge waste of time travel.
Oh, that's a perfect answer.
Well, it's what I do. It's a terrible waste of the whole concept, but that's what I want to do. So where are you right now before I sign off? Where are you?
I'm in Sedona. I'm coming into LA tonight.
Oh, cool. All right. And you're doing a show at the Rose Bowl.
Yep. Me and Skur at the Rose Bowl, both do a stand-up, and Wednesday night. I can't wait.
All right, I got a lot to plug here because you're a busy man. The Cabin with Bert Kreischer is now streaming globally on Netflix, and that show's a lot of fun. And you can find dates for Bert's Hot Summer Nights Tour at bertbertbert.com. What happened? Did someone else take Bert?
No, someone had. By the way, I've got Bert also. I've also got Diet Bert. I've got everything around it. Some guy had Bert. It was his dog.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. Okay, bertbertbert.com. Bert Kreischer, always really fun talking to you. And I'm so happy you're out there bringing joy because people need it right now. They really do.
Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you for having me on, Conan. I love you. I love the new hairstyle. And tell the people at Largo I said I'm so sorry.
they didn't. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. And you know what? It's
sounds like an inside job, Conan.
No, I really believe. Like Andy Richter yesterday was way too like, this is terrible. And I noticed he was wearing like a new jacket. And I'm like, F you. By the way, I've got a picture on my, the way Apple just randomly sends you photos from your collection of photos just every day. You just get a random. The other day I'm doing something and I'm about to bite into like a croissant and this picture slides up and it's you and me doing a selfie at Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Remember that? And like your face, it's your face and my face mashed up together. And I was like, ah.
Yeah. I love that Apple does that. It goes, hey, did you forget your dog died? And you're like, oh yeah.
Remember her? She's dead.
Hey, these are some good times.
All right, Bert Kreischer, thank you, sir.